Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It is time. Hello, everyone in chat. How's everyone doing this lovely morning, evening, midday, wherever you are in the world? Hello and welcome. I'm the 8th one. This is my channel, and this is Infectious Thoughts. This is episode number 17. Oh my god, thank you for the follow, Ash61 and Pie. I'm gonna call you Pie. Welcome, Pie. How's it going? Thank you for the follow. Oh my god. Right, so you can call me Pie. Yeah. And yes, Jojo, I am ugly. Alright, but you're gonna have to put up with it. Oh my god. So today we have a very interesting person. You see, I've from the first moment that I've met this guy and I've seen his stuff, his stream, he has definitely improved on everything that he has done, and I just thought, why has he got to where he's got to? I want to know more about this person. And some of you may know him, some of you may not, but have no worries, you get to find out today, because I've got a nice set of questions here that are constantly changing, and we get to find out more about this person. There is going to be a section at the end that I will be asking chat 4 questions, right? So hold all your questions to the end, and then we'll ask them then. I'll pick the creme de la creme of questions for myself and the Hero 9000. And without further ado, let's say hello to the Hero 9000.
Hello everyone, what's up? I'm Hero. Sorry.
How you doing, man?
Not as awake just yet because it's early in the morning, but anyway.
Yeah. Oh god. Well, the same question I ask every single person that is on here. Who is the Hero 9000?
Well, in the overview, you can call me Hero. I'm technically a variety streamer. I do heavy towards more community-based games and stuff. So, like, play all sorts of games, from like the hardest games that you can think of, to some easy games, and I kind of vibe off of like my own suffering in a sense when I do play hard games. So like, I don't know. But that's just who I am, like streamer wise. There's a lot more to me, to be honest, but
that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Yeah, lot to find out just by my background alone, to be honest.
Oh, 100%. That is one thing that I clicked on your stream for the first time, right? And before I even looked at what game you were playing, I was like, yo, he's got cool stuff in the background. What is all that?
That tends to be like something that a lot of people do like comment, like they're like, I love your posters, and or like, because I added this thing, if you can see like the it's an art project that I'm working on. They're like, did you draw that? And like, I get people who are like artists, as well as like my Funko Pop collection. Like, everyone's like super curious about like that whole aspect, and it's like, it is a big thing of like what I personally enjoy, and it like shows that off to anyone who clicks in here, because I think that's important.
That's the thing though, like having the type that, like, because there's different streamers out there that will approach backgrounds and who they are very differently. Like we have people that, for example, so in previous episode we had Lukulele. Now he uses a green screen, however in the background of his green screen, what he normally puts, like if he's got a just chatting screen on, he would have like a fireplace. And for Christmas time, for example, he had like everyone do like the Christmas sock, and it would hang up on a fireplace. And I think that's really cool, and it's a really cool use of it. But for those that don't use a green screen, having an interesting background to show off who you actually are is it's hard. Like, honestly.
No, I would the one background that I would try to avoid is just having like a messy room behind you. Like make it look nice, but like yes, I would say like it is like for example, like I saw the one with you and Dango with your Fallout helmet, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what you could personally do is just like if you could find like a shelf or something that like because I had like a bookshelf here originally. I'm like,
Mhm.
they're not really getting to see anything. So like I move things around and like I want to display what is important, which is like anime, my art and all of this. So it really comes down to like thinking of like where your camera is and then like what's in your background. And that comes out like a lot.
100%.
Yeah.
And like even me myself, like now, I mean, I'm only using a C922, so trying to get this to look good and to capture as much as I want it to, it's not. And like that's the thing. I'd love for it to be a wider screen and as well as taller as well. But the only way I can make that happen is to either move the camera backwards, but there's a wall behind me.
Yeah.
And like there's only so much. Like I even thought at one point I was like, what if I just get a magnifying glass and just stick it over the front? Like, would that help it, sort of thing? Like
I get it back. When I first originally started to plan like my face. Oh, sorry, my dog.
Come on, bring the dog. Let's have a look at the dog.
Yes. She usually doesn't bark when until like someone comes inside. Here she is. But when I was originally going to do like my face reveal, because of like COVID and stuff, it was just like everywhere was sold out. And it was just like, oh my God, I couldn't find, because I was trying to get the Brio, like Logitech, and it was like everywhere. And they're still all sold out because everyone bought them up for schools and stuff, and it was just like, it was too much. It was just like
massively.
So like, I had
this one. Like I've had to buy this one secondhand from this girl that she bought it for like doing meetings sort of thing, but then she realized that her webcam on her laptop was good enough, so she was just selling it off. But trying to buy this camera, the price of it was so ridiculously high where it was in stock that, oh God.
No, I know people were definitely price gouging quite a bit.
100%.
Anyway, quiet. Anyway, so yeah, sorry. That's all right. I think my dad's outside helping my brother, but anyway. So I'm going to. Yes, I know. She's so angry.
She's talking. She's joining in.
Yes. I like to pretend that like when I tell her to be quiet, she like gives me back sass sometimes, and it's like, hey, don't sass me like that. So it's just like,
what you tell me to do, huh?
I'm like, tell me. Anyway, so.
Oh God. So why did you start content creation, or did you start here, or did you start somewhere else?
Well, the thing is, and I was talking to you this earlier, is I have a bachelor's degree in filmmaking. Like digital cinema arts is technically what it is. So I quiet, or I'm gonna put you outside. Sorry, she is like very angry.
I love how when you're quiet, she's quiet, but the second you start talking, she's like, "Give me attention."
She's like hearing them talk outside, so I may throw her out in the hallway to smell who's the intruder. Because but like what got me into content creating, well, like when I was like very young itself, it was just like I saw like movies and stuff, and like I got into like video editing, and I used to do like these little Pokemon stuff, and then like I moved past that, and it was just like
What Pokemon stuff did you do?
Here, let me deal with her by like throwing her into the hallway to like say hi to the stranger.
Oh my god.
There we go. She'll be quiet. But so I used to do two different things before like even the concept of streaming was like even a thing. This early YouTube, I used to one do like, because I didn't have a camera at the time, I used to like move an actual almost in like bare bones animation type thing, almost like where I just move a picture that was already pre-drawn in a sense, and just like moving them around and doing all of that. And then I got the camera, and then I had all of these Pokemon toys, which I still have a lot of them, because I was inspired by someone else who did things like this,
like stop motion kind of thing.
Kind of, but like it was more like you could see my hands, and it didn't matter because like the characters and like the story you were telling was what the thing was. But this was like really early on YouTube, when like before like all of the business. And then like I stopped doing that, and like I just started making like videos for like school and stuff, and still had like an absolute blast doing that. And then I was like getting into my college life, and I was just like trying to figure out like what I was going to do personally. And then after that, I decided like after like my 2 years, and when I went into like the film thing, and I was like, first off, I guess I'm doing this, but because of how hard it is based on where I live, it was just like, I started editing wedding videos, which I still do. It's just like, and then like, I mean, there's a lot of other reasons why I got into streaming. Like, for example, like when I first originally thought of streaming, like, because I know someone who's like really big and stuff, and like I saw like how their community just loved them and drew them like tons of fan art. And like as a joke, when I first started, I'm like, I'm just in it for the fan art. I'm like, I just love like how much they draw. Like, but then like over time, I think like other reasons have come up, which were like, I personally wanted to get closer to the person I knew and like build the relationship that I had with them. But like, and then like I know with you and Dango, when you guys had your conversation, you talked about like people messaging you and like saying like, I really appreciate you, and like I got some of those like really early on. And it was like really crazy, like even as a small time person,
just how much of an impact you can have
on
someone.
It's crazy, like because I've had people tell me like, man, I just love your content, and I'm like, and like deep down in my heart, it's like, what am I doing that makes you guys like love it so much? I'm just
right,
like my whole thing is like because like, for example, like a lot of people will be like Minecraft streamers, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the reason why I wanted to be variety is one, for my own sanity, and I don't think I could play Minecraft all the time. But like to encourage other people to check out other games, because like I started on like a bunch of other games, and I've like I imagine like if I play a game that you guys can't like get because like of like the console whole thing, you can come and enjoy it here and have a friend to talk to. But like yeah, that's kind of why I'm a variety streamer versus just a one game streamer, and it opens your door, I think, to a lot more people than just like people who are interested in Minecraft. Not saying that there's anything wrong.
No,
But that's just
100%, and I can agree with that, because I know a lot of people that have started doing like a specific game, and they've got really good at that game, and then they feel like their chat would only turn up there for that game, and they feel like they're trapped, sort of thing, in that
no,
game, in that stream, and they feel like they can't play anything else, and they're genuinely unhappy about that, because they can't be a variety streamer when they are already known for being a whatever else streamer. Like they'd love to do variety just to keep their, like you said, just keep your sanity, because you do enough of one thing, you're gonna eventually hate it.
yeah, the person that I know is like a Minecraft streamer, and like he probably plays like, or like does 50, like so much time in Minecraft that I'm like, how do you not like absolutely go insane? But like there's also like a reverse to the variety streamer problem, because like, for example, we're gonna be playing Jackbox later today.
Oh,
And I know it's like one of my biggest streams, but like when it comes to all of my other streams, it's like I'm not pulling the same numbers. So it's like you're like, I want to pull my whole audience for like all of these other games, and they're missing out. And it's like there's a push and pull for like both, in my opinion, because of like you have your audience already, and then there's also like you have the audience that like for certain days, and it's just like, okay. But like that's one negative that I found with like being a variety streamer very recently. Or maybe just how I do it.
I can definitely understand that, because I actually I've had a streamer on. His name is 50% Gaming, and he said about how he is a variety streamer, and being a variety streamer is it's all well and good knowing the fact that like he can play so many different types of games, but it's having those different types of games to be able to play on stream as a variety. Like, there's a lot of things that people that don't stream and haven't got into content creation that they wouldn't know until they're in that situation. Like, for example, before I started streaming, I never actually knew the fact that using your microphone on your headset is going to be enough to make you happy while streaming. I didn't know you had to have lights and how to set up lights. I didn't know you had to set up all sorts of sound software to make sure that you sound good, and I didn't know the type of things that you can buy or even make for your stream. And
production design, and like just
literally
increasing
like,
the
you
quality.
are the whole set. You are the director, you are the graphic designer, you are the sound engineer. You're literally the whole set in one person.
It because like breaking it down into film like aspects, you are the pre-production, you're the production itself, and then you're the post-production, because like for like you've got to advertise yourself, you've got to like make sure everything's ready, you got to make sure like you have everything like planned out ahead of time, and like then it comes to the thing, so you've got to be on your top game when you start, which is like the content you create, and then afterwards like what you're gonna do to it, like because like Twitch doesn't save all of your things. Are you gonna make videos with it, because that could lead into like more stuff and like help you to grow, which I personally like want to do, and is probably one of my next steps to do. But like I totally get it, like setting up the like it took me a while to get to this point, like because I had to purchase like a lot of things.
Oh yeah. This is not a cheap hobby if you're gonna do it as a hobby, and if you're gonna do it as a profession, even then it's not cheap. Like,
Oh yeah, I think I think, to be honest, the most expensive part is like the games, depending on like for a variety streamer, because
hmm
like the camera I got from another person, and then my computer is made from older parts, and I do
oh,
plan on upgrading them. But like it's because he gave them to me, and it was just like, and then like because I know how to light a room, and I just recently did this, like I'm bouncing light off the wall, so it like is softer on my face.
hmm
Um, but yeah,
No,
and
that's the
like,
thing though, because you've got so like, what is your like? Are you still studying at the moment, or do you have like? Are you in a specific profession at the moment? Like, what do you
oh,
work as?
I at the current moment, and this is why like my stream schedule is the way it is I edit and film wedding videos. Like I just recently bought a bunch of like camera stuff. I'm waiting for one part, and it's because freaking
I gotta love that COVID shipping.
yeah, it's like they're back ordered, and I'm like, if it doesn't get, but because like on Amazon, it's like it'll be out like January 11th, and it's like, okay, that's fine. But if it does not get to me, because like I got like a very nice gimbal, and like for it's pretty much handheld, and it'll make it like super smooth and buttery. But
Hmm.
like I like spent like 2 grand on this stuff of like my own money, so it's like I need that one piece to do everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I edit wedding videos full time, and then I film
Oh.
weddings every now and again on Saturday, Sunday, and potentially Friday. I just filmed like just the ceremony on New Year's Eve.
Oh
So
wow.
that was fun. But like yeah, I mean I get to see a lot of like brides and stuff, and like is great to make like people happy. Like my very first wedding was by far my favorite, because she came up to me and was like, thanks so much, um and gave me like a big hug. And then like the very next one was just as good, gave me a big hug, was so happy. And but then after that it went downhill. Because everyone, because you meet those brides who are like, yeah, great job, I look forward, when's my video coming out? And it's like it'll be like this long, and you're just like, okay. But like I mean I still love it. I love editing, and like because it's super easy. Like I've gotten to the point where I can edit like an 8-minute video of wedding stuff in like one day, easy. um,
That's the
but
thing though,
yeah.
like that's one thing that people don't realize is like there's two different sides to content creation. There is Twitch, which is it
Mhm.
has its own upsides and downsides, and it takes certain time and it draws a certain amount of energy whilst you're live and preparing things before you're live. But at the same time, um, YouTube is a whole different matter, and
Oh
editing
yeah.
those videos, like you said, for 8 minutes, you can literally spend the whole day editing. And I've tried editing a video. My lord, my brain, there was extra veins in my head, like I was sweating, and I just managed to find where the X button was. Like,
No, I totally understand that, because of my full-time job. Because if I didn't have the full-time job, I could probably edit like content, as well as like what do I make content of? Like I have things on my channel of like me doing skits, and like an or a film I made in college, which like I think turned out really well. But like, do I cut my streams up? Like, because it's like content I already have, it's like it would be very easy to just take that and cut it apart, to that, and
thanks for the
it
follow,
would just
Ash.
Yeah. N- um, but like, yeah, there's a lot of like potential for like how do you separate all of that time, like because like I'm like I should stop streaming so much because I need to make more videos and stuff, but like at the exact same time, if I stop streaming as much, I don't get myself out there as much again, and like there's like push and pull between literally everything, I've
Oh,
realized.
literally, and that is one thing that I think a lot of people struggle with is knowing the balance of uh, how much time do I spend being live in and putting myself out there in comparison to how much time do I spend offline to make sure that the
Yeah.
content that when I'm online is grabbing does literally just go, come here, you come,
Yeah,
like.
that's by far the hardest aspect of like being small time and trying to grow. You have to be able to like grab a hold of them and just be like, yo, this is why you want to stay, because I interact with you guys a lot. Like for me, like specifically, um I like try to interact and like make them feel, because like again, because of the feature of being live, it's like,
Hmm.
and like that's the hard part, because like when you get so big where your chat is just flying by, it's like that aspect of being live and like feeling like you're actually hanging out with them, I feel like it's taken away a lot of the times when you get too big. So like I don't know how you could fix something like that to make it seem like you're always like there for someone, um or like there for like hanging out versus just like, oh, it's stream time, let's just like pop on and like, because I noticed that like they'll talk to chat, but like they talk to them as a whole versus like individuals, so you wouldn't be able to do that when you're like pulling hundreds of people in.
Mm.
um
No,
so
that's
like,
one thing that a lot of people that are very much community driven and community interaction driven, they worry about when they would eventually get to that stage of, like you said,
yeah,
where the chat is just flying by and it's so hard to have an individual conversation with people, and um, it is really hard, like you said, to keep an eye out on your game and at the same
no,
time your chat at the same time, and trying to remember what people are talking about, trying to remember people and how they are and how they're doing, sort of thing, and having the balance is so hard, like literally so hard. And that's one thing that I feel like you do, because even within literally 5 minutes of me being in your stream, I cannot remember what you were playing, but you was able to pick out people from your chat and be like, hey man, how you doing, how's your day been, like how was this that you done previously? And I was like, wow, like this guy can remember like what these people have been doing, and I can't even remember what I had for breakfast, like.
I think that comes because with me, like, and I, to bring up like how free, I mean, it's died down, but like, I have a crave, like when it comes down to like certain things that are like really important, I have like a really crazy freaky memory. Like that's also like one thing that like I find really hard to like rewatch anime, because like it's never like I rewatch it for like certain aspects, but like I can never rewatch something for the story itself. Um, but I have a crazy memory, and like to give this an aspect, when I was like first grade, um, my teacher said that I was doing like great at reading and stuff, but like I would never read for my mom or my dad. Um, and when shh, oh my gosh, she has to start sassing me now. Hold on. All right, there we go. She just hears someone come in, and but but when I went to second grade, my teacher figured out that I was memorizing the books that she would read me, um by switching them. So like she'd read one book to the class, and then then like when she like pulled me aside to like have me read, it would be a whole different book. So it was just like that's how she figured it out. And it's just like, yeah, he's just memorizing the book and just stating it back. And it's
That
like,
is amazing. So do you have
yeah,
a
I mean,
photographic memory?
I don't think it's to that degree. It's just it's to the point where like things that I guess were important at the time and like just like because like I doubt I could memorize a book word for word now. It was just like at the moment it was just like and like because like when you see people around more, it's like, oh, I know what's going on with them. Like for example, you just got followed by Ashton knows it, and like he's been they've been coming around like a lot in my chat. So like the more you're familiar with something, I think is like because like I've
It
recognized like
sticks in. Yeah.
tons of people in your chat already just because they hang around with me a lot, and like I appreciate like each and every one of them.
That's the thing that I can definitely relate to that because it's the people that keep coming back and you get to like see those names over and over and over again, and it's such a nice feeling. Like honestly, to know that you have those people that would come into your stream and be like, "Yo, I'm battling for the first comment," sort of thing, and that they'd be chatting to you throughout the stream, and it's just so nice to know that you've got those people there. And I think as you build up that kind of connection with them, is when you really start to essentially memorize who they are and how they've been, because they start to they stop being your viewer, and they start being like more of an well, I'd say more of an acquaintance, almost pushing towards a friend, because you're starting to build some form of a relationship with them. You can understand what they're like and how they feel and what they want to do. And yeah, I can definitely see that, where literally the more people that you have, that would be an issue.
Like I totally get it, and like sometimes it gets tricky because like of certain people's names, it's like you're like I recognize the name sort of ish, but like I don't know. It's often on like for like knowing who people are and trying to be like T1 is like one of my like people who comes in every now and again, but like I know him because of like one of my admins in chat and their friends and stuff. So it's like again like the more you see people, and I think like for example like with certain communities they have a way of like helping like the old people seem like they're not completely forgotten because they were around, because like some people get promoted to staff as well as like they have like high roles in Discord and stuff, or like things like that, in order to keep them like be like yo, and like you may not see them as around as much, but like they'll always be like that number.
They're still appreciated. Yeah.
But that's about like that.
But one thing that, and I like hearing this because it does actually make a difference, and like the reason, what made you actually first press that start streaming, that go live button the first time, and then at the same time on the other side of that coin, you must have liked something about it. It must have been something there that you thought, okay, all right, I like this. I'm gonna do it again. So what made you press the button the second time?
Man, because like at my age, because I'm a lot older than I look, days start to blur together, and because of the type of job I have, it kind of like for like all of the brides will gradually start looking alike, and all weddings start looking alike. Not, and that's just one aspect of it, but like what probably made me start was like I was determined to make some sort of content, whether that was just being live and like making like something that I could do with later. And I think that was what originally, like, because I started out on YouTube and then someone suggested Twitch, which is why I'm here now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a lot easier to get into like the affiliate program than freaking YouTube. But like, again, it's gradual build over like sudden build.
100%.
Yeah.
That's one thing that a lot of people that start up Twitch don't understand. Like some of the top 1% of Twitch that have that massive amount of following, they don't realize that they didn't get there overnight. A lot of them took them like 10 years to get to that point.
Yeah, because a lot of it was like, it was a very new concept in a sense, but
literally,
I
yeah. And it's that was another thing actually, where recently, I don't know if you remember, or if you knew, where Twitch was able to buy your affiliate status for Twitch.
I don't think I knew that. That
really?
Seems a little sus, though, to be honest. Like,
yeah, literally, yeah.
That's almost like pay, because I get a lot of those bots that like buy followers, and it's like followers don't matter. It's all about like the viewer count.
Literally,
when it comes down to it.
Literally, but
which again is the hard part.
And that was one of the things that I had mixed feelings for, because okay, you're able to buy affiliate, which is okay in a certain amount. It doesn't bother me, because by buying affiliate, yes, you can monetize your channel, yes, you can personalize your channel better, you can reach more people to a certain extent, you can stream in higher quality with a bit the different qualities that you've got available to you as an affiliate, but you don't have the learning curve that comes with it.
No, I know.
You don't have the community behind you. You don't have, like, you
feeling
can have
what
all the
it's
gear.
like to climb all the way up from like nothing, and like what it takes to like, because like I would just like, to be honest, I would be hanging around in discords or like talking to people and just be like, hey, you want to like do something on my stream and stuff, and like that comes to like that's a part of like playing with people you just meet online, just to like see if you have a good time and stuff. And like I feel like people who didn't have to go through that have like a whole different aspect of like what it means to stream, because like a lot of YouTubers will pick up streaming once they get big without even ever having to go through early age streaming process. So I think there's like a weird like limbo of like, you have to experience like what it's like almost to like really fully appreciate it, I think.
100%. And that's why it makes me a little bit sad for those people that decide to just straight up buy affiliate status, because they don't have the learning curve, and they don't know what it takes. They don't know the actual amount of work that it takes to get to that, and the feeling of achieving that sort of affiliate status, and feeling proud of yourself, and feeling proud of your community for getting you there, and building those sort of relationships. It's I can basically compare it to being given a Lambo when you're 5 years old.
Oh,
like, it's all great. You can sit in it, but you can't drive it anyway, can you?
It's gonna be sitting in the parking lot for like for Mr. Beast videos. It's like yeah, you got a Lambo, but you can't drive for like 3 more years.
Literally.
Yeah, so
that's literally just it. But
enjoy the insurance hike.
Literally. Oh my god.
Yeah, like no joke. Like, as much as I'd love to have like him give me something like that, it's like yeah, I'm gonna have to sell this because
I'd have to sell
overall
the
it'll
house to
cost
drive the
me
car.
more. I'm gonna have to sell my house, my car, my computer, just to pay for the insurance on this Lambo. Uh,
Never mind the fuel. Oh my god.
yeah. Like, give me
Oh,
give me something that's a little more
usable.
reasonable.
Just buy
Yeah.
me a red camera. That's what you
I mean,
say.
to buy the, like, again, buying someone a house, like, even on that concept, like, if they're not ready to pay for like the tax that comes with that, it's like, yeah, you're kind of not helping me out. But yeah, um, but to answer the second part of this, your question earlier on like, why did I continue? It was it was probably because when I started, I had like an idea and like I wanted to keep doing, and I think just out of sheer determination, I just kept going. Like I had a goal by like when I first started on like Twitch, like I want to make it to like 1,000 followers. And like if I wasn't able to, I was probably like, maybe I'm in the wrong thing. And because like you always have that like, because like me personally, I was always having like that torn feeling like, am I going into the right film or major? Like, is this what I want to do? So like you don't want to waste time doing something that you're not meant to be doing. Um and through overwhelming support from my community and people in general, I made it not only to 1,000 followers, I made it to 2,000. So I doubled my score of
You're
like
on
my goal.
2,000 followers.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
lord! When
and
I
I
first saw you, you was pre 500.
yeah.
That is
And
insane.
I owe like and something that I can relate to like that big moment because like there was a time in my chat where I had so many people that I couldn't contact or like couldn't individualize them. I got raided by like a huge party, like huge, and like it was so big that you couldn't read chat. And there was just so much going on. So like that kind of almost terror, like gives me like a weird fear, like if it ever gets to that point, I'm going like I get it, it's gradually going to happen. But like at the exact same time, it's like, what if like I get raided by like big party after a while and like I just suddenly become big and I'm not ready for that? Like that like I know it's never gonna happen, because it
Well, I
seems
mean,
ridiculous. But
just
like,
like the thing is, you can never say never, right?
oh
Because
yeah, I totally. I've had moments where I've shoved my foot in my mouth because like when I first started, I was trying to get like to 250 by my birthday and stuff, um, and or like just 200, and I was like, if we make it to 250, I'll like do a 24-hour stream, and I was joking slightly, and we did it, and I was like, because someone raided me, and like it was just like absolutely bonkers. And then like I had another 24-hour stream, and it was just like it was just like really crazy and stuff and all of that.
that's the thing though, and like trying to accurately set yourself goals is so hard when it comes to online presence, because like you said, you never know what's going to happen. You could have raid after raid after raid after raid, and you could get big like that, or it could take you months to get to the same level. Like it's really hard to set those kinds of goals, and trying to find out whether your content is worth it is, and how to improve your own content is another thing as well. Like, have you actually watched your own content as a viewer?
Me personally, no, not as much as I probably should, because like everyone has that thing about their voice and stuff. So like, there's that, as well as like, it's almost like I would need to set time aside, as well as because I have a staff and stuff. I usually try to ask their opinion on like the stream, and like, and I just need to get better on like this, because for the people who were watching, like, because I'm small now, is like, and like, for example, like my or like some of my admins really want me to play with other people. They want me to stream with other streamers, and like they want that more than anything. And like I'm trying. It's really, as you said earlier, it's really hard with like time zones being a thing, and like just everyone's schedule being all over the place. Like, I can only start streaming at 6 most days, so it's like I can't do anything besides that. But like,
that's the thing. Even finding the time to be able to actually stream, it takes a long time. Like, even beforehand and even afterwards, like it is really hard. Like, even with me with work, I leave my home at 5 o'clock in the morning, or 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'll get home.
I don't even have to wake that up early.
Right, and then
that's insane.
Yeah, it gets better. It gets better because I get home at, like, let's just say I have a lovely day, and I get home at about 6:30, right? Then I've got to prepare everything and make sure everything's all good for 9:30 p.m, which is when I normally start streaming during the week, and then I stream all the way through till 12, sometimes even like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then the next day I get up at 5 again and do the whole thing again.
No, it does get like really repetitive, to be honest. And it's just like with the work aspect, it's just like
it's like, I need more hours in a day, okay?
Yeah, like, to be honest, like, because like when I started streaming, I was going to the gym, but then like COVID hit, and then like that, and now I'm having trouble like finding time to still go to the gym at all. So it's like, how do I do that and prepare food for myself and just like do all of these other things? So it's just really hard to like balance all of these things when you stream and work. And like where you give more time to, because like this is a hobby and you don't make enough doing this, where you can quit your other job. So it's just, and not that the money has ever meaned anything. I always tell my viewers, any donations always go back into the stream and stuff, like for making it better. Like buying new games, and like just buying better setups. Like recently we had a goal where if we reached it, I'd buy like a new chair and stuff, just to make it like more like suitable and stuff. So
that's literally my next thing as well, trying to buy a chair. Well, it's one of my like personal health kind of things, because this thing I'm sitting on is just a 90-degree with padding. That's literally all it is. Like, my back is basically, it's just mad.
I feel that, because like after, like, when you stream for so long, because like I'm able to stream for like probably 10 hours without having to take like a break. Not that I do it, it's just I personally don't have to get up, but this chair that I am in isn't that comfortable. So I look forward to having that chair when it comes and stuff.
100%. Even now, I was literally looking for so many different types of chairs, and oh my god, looking at the price tag of the chairs,
it hurts that you can't get like good quality like because like there's tons of like Amazon gaming chairs and stuff that look really nice and stuff, but like when you look at their reviews and stuff, it's just like nah. Um,
No, it
but
is
then
true. Yeah,
like you look at
functional
like the
form.
high quality like Secret Lab stuff, which I've heard like really worth it. And like when I think of something, you want to think of it more long time. So
Hmm.
putting that little bit of extra money towards a nicer thing, like
To
a stream
save
lab.
your back or to
Yeah,
save your
yeah.
stream. Yeah.
Because like first off, it's gonna look nice. I'm gonna probably have it for a long, long time before I have to ever get a new one, and I'll just have a better time streaming stuff. So
Mm.
I think the thing is, um, giving, allowing that to be part
Yeah.
of what carries your decisions, like what camera, what my thinking of higher quality versus cheaper stuff. Because if you plan on doing it and you're going to do it for a long time, you'll have it longer before you have to like upgrade.
Hmm. That's literally how I've done everything here. Like even like for my birthday, I had I booked off a whole week off of work, right? And my plan was to stream every single day. Well, I had a donation goal up or a tip goal up actually, where if it got reached, I would have shaved all of my hair off.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but luckily it wasn't reached. But we did raise like a decent amount of money, and I bought a new PC case with the intent of it being more than I needed, so that in the future I can upgrade for it and it'd still be perfectly fine. And then with the rest of the money, I felt kind of bad in a way, and I don't know, I just felt kind of weird not being able to use it effectively. So I thought, okay, well, realistically speaking, there's a lot of people in a lot worse situations than I am. So then I think the PC case was £200, and what was left was like 280 something pounds. I topped it up to 300, and that went to breast cancer research because
Oh yeah.
it's a charity that's close to my heart and my family. But there's one thing that I learned in that week of streaming. The first day, I done a 16.5 hour stream. It was my first ever long-term stream, and I just crashed afterwards. Like literally, I just slept the next day for the whole day. It was
yeah.
bad, and
Um.
that's one bit of advice I can give every single streamer, and that is you gotta take breaks just to breathe, stretch your back, grab a snack, grab a drink, walk, just to keep
No,
yourself sane and all good.
that's probably something I need to work more at, because like when I stream for like 4 hours, it's just like, because of how I also work, I usually don't get up ever, because it's all about what I'm doing at the moment. Which again, I like ponder like, how on earth do I sit there for 4 hours? And it's like, that's just how I've always been. When working on projects, I just sit and like, yeah, I'll do other things, but like when sitting and streaming for like so long, it's just like, yeah, okay, it's not a big deal anymore. But like, I can definitely say like, if you are going to do a long stream, don't go anywhere, because what I did was I had, like, long story short, I forgot something. I was in a rush to get something, and like when I like stopped at a stoplight because I was so tired, I like closed my eyes for like a second, but it and I'd open it. It was literally the scariest drive home ever. And I got home, laid down, and it was like, I'll go to sleep.
I go night now.
Like, yeah, definitely don't go anywhere if you do a long stream of that way. Go straight to like bed, or like space it out where like your sleep schedule could almost return to normal, because that's one thing that's going to be effed up.
But that is actually one thing that I have made sure that I include in this Infectious Thoughts, right? And that is that every hour, on the hour, sort of as close to it as we can, we have a little break, just so that way we can go to the toilet, grab some drinks, because I ain't seen you drink nothing since you sat down.
Oh, yeah. Almost out of water. Just something that like I have to save because of like those hydrates that I get sometimes. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna not drink any water.
Nah, you gotta have a break and you gotta drink some water. But
Yeah, yeah.
let's have a quick little break. I want everyone in chat to go grab a snack, right? Go stretch your back, and we'll see you when we get back. Hey, yo, people, we're back.
Yo.
Dab, 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 dab.
Yeah, I am familiar with that whole aspect of it.
Okay, right. So I word this question this way because there is a difference. Now, you said that you have both a YouTube presence and a Twitch presence, and you've created content on both platforms. Now, what would you describe your style is on each one of those?
My YouTube presence is very small at the moment because I haven't posted a video in a while. But I think starting this year, I'm going to have to start more. My style, and I think what I'm going to do is more skits and like clips from my streams and stuff. But I don't know. You'd have to, because I have like, it's literally like on my YouTube, I have technically a lot of past projects that I've worked on in from school and stuff. So it's like they're there, and like I don't know. It's hard to like say because I haven't done anything in a while. I want to, but I haven't done anything. So
What
I
about
would
Twitch
leave
then?
Twitch, for my style on Twitch, like the thing that I go for, I do go for like more community based games. Like we're gonna be doing Jackbox later today. When Among Us was really big, I was playing that. We're gonna hold off on playing that until the new map comes out. A lot of Minecraft, like high pixel and that type of stuff, because I wanted it to seem like I wasn't just like, hey, come watch me play games and stuff, but like you guys could interact with me, as well as like when I did play, because I don't know if you've ever heard of this game, Sekiro, Twice Dying.
Yes, I've seen you play that. Yeah.
Yes. The hardest game that I've ever played by far. Hard, like, because like a lot of people say Dark Souls 3 is like really hard. And like as a beginner, I can see that. Like once you get started, but literally after like the first 2 levels, you're just like, wow, this is super, especially with like they're like playing with other people, it becomes like a walk in the park. Where like Sekiro is, to put it finite, is a rhythm-based sword fighting simulator. Because there's no other way of, like in Dark Souls you have magic, you can be a tank, you can be long range, where in Sekiro there's only sword fighting. So
I do remember coming into your stream and then you died within like 2 minutes of me being there, and then again another 2 minutes after that.
Yes, so like to play off of that, like because I attract a lot. I feel like I attract like a lot of people who want to like hype me up as well as like to like almost they want me to suffer. So I've been trying to like figure out ways to like crowd control things. I was able to beat Sekiro, but like it was the hardest final boss I've ever had. And like I do want more games like that. Like I'm playing Breath of the Wild right now, so like it's not the hardest game, especially like but like if there's a hard mode and I just haven't found it, I'm gonna like I gotta switch it on. I have, in order, like when as well as like when I was very first starting, I was playing Halo 1 on Legendary. So like,
oh wow,
that was, there were points in that game that were just like super like ridiculous. Like it was like, I don't, because like I remembered like being young and like playing Halo, but like then cranking it up to Legendary and like solo playing it, it's so much harder than you think. especially like if you haven't played in a while. But yeah, it. I think they like. I know Reality, who's in your chat, likes to watch me suffer. So like, that's kind of.
There is something about people watching us suffer that they really enjoy. I've learned this the hard way because I did have a channel point redemption for push-ups and sit-ups, and I think the most I've had to do in a stream was something ridiculous like 60 or 70, right? And I was hurting, right?
No, I still have one of those, but I cranked it up a lot, and people drop it every now and again.
Yeah, it's one thing I'm gonna have to restart actually, because one of my goals for this year is to try and lose some of this muffin top, right? And I'm thinking, what better way to do it than to make chat make me suffer? And
yeah.
Well, it's going to be more of a suffering towards an end goal of just getting a bit more bulky. You know what I'm saying?
No, I like if not that, like I need to go back to the gym or something. But then I could save a lot of money by canceling my thing. So just by having Twitch chat, like do this exercise, I could, but I don't know. I don't know if they want to watch me that sweaty in that sense.
I'm pretty sure if you bring up like all sorts of channel redemptions for different workouts to do, that they will your chat will become your personal trainer.
Now I'm canceling that idea. No, not happening. I can just imagine like I'll do like a 30-second plank for like this amount. Be like have to do like, and I've like been able to do like a 5-minute plank at one point, but like you're dying at that point. So like I can imagine them trying to make me do like a 20-minute, and it's just like, nah, I'm good.
Well, the good thing is now, and I've recently found this out, you can set out timers for redemptions, so they can only be redeemed 10 minutes afterwards. So you could use that to your advantage, so you don't fully die, but you die a little, kind of.
I also saw like where you can make like goals for the community as well. I think what I have to do is like figure out like what would be something that they would want to spend on them, and I think maybe like because I want to do an art stream again, but like, and maybe I'll just test out a few things. So I don't know. It all depends.
Pretty interesting. Have you got any finished artworks that you've done nearby?
Yeah, I've got this whole like pat full, and I could show it off, but.
Okay, show me your favorite piece.
My favorite piece, and
I love asking this of anyone that is an artist.
The one that says probably the most about me is this one, and I'm gonna have to cover up parts of my paper. It's this One Punch Man thing that I drew.
My god!
Yeah, because like I just love, like, there are things that I look back on and like I could have done better, but like I just really love like these streaks that I did with his fist and stuff. So like that's one that I'm probably really proud of. And I actually got the voice actor, the English voice actor, to sign.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, you've fully just blown my mind, right?
I can show you one because I have them all right here.
Oh my god, wow, you've got some talent, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh my lord.
Where is it? This one I like a lot because I do dabble in this concept. I'm gonna have to put this away. It's a breakdance collage. This was a project for like school, and it's just a bunch of breakdancers. And I think this one's by far like one of my personal bests because of the amount of detail I had to put into it and like the shading. It's not the most flashy, but it definitely says like shows off like my skill in that way. I also have. I'll show off one more since.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Right. I love how you play it off like it's just I mean this is just something that I dabble in, right?
Well, it is, to be honest. Like this is a scene from like Sword Art Online.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's amazing.
Because like I see it like again being an artist, and like when you're part of that community, when you're doing it, it's like you see a whole bunch of artists and you're trying to be just as good, if not like, and like I have tons of artists in my community, and they do it all from like their mind, where like when it comes to me and art, it's like I have to see something and I can just like technically like I can like for this poster or these posters, I could take this, turn it into actual like sketch art and stuff, and it would be in my own style, but it would still just be a copy of something else. But like at the exact same time, what is art if not copying something else?
Yeah. That's so cool. Oh my god!
I mean,
that's amazing. No, you've got some real talent, man. That is actually really so cool.
That's like why I want to do more. And like the thing that is behind me was just like one stream. So like if I focus on something, I can really get like a lot done, because I got like a lot done on her, and I could have probably gotten more if like I hadn't been streaming. So like yeah, but like I
reckon a monthly art stream. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, I'll probably.
I want to see that. I want to see that, and that'd be really cool as well, because if you could record that, you could do like a time lapse of you drawing it or painting it, or who you want to do. That's so cool.
I appreciate it.
Oh my god.
Wow. I do want to get more into like doing more art, because it's something that I'm really good at, and I think a lot of people could appreciate, because like after that stream, a lot of people were like, man, I really, even though like I don't draw, like I felt like drawing with you, and like that was the whole like you get like because like when you're watching a streamer, you can do other things too, like you can play a game, you can draw something. I know a lot of my fans like to draw, or like supporters, and they're absolutely amazing.
That's so cool.
But yeah, I definitely want to do another art stream. In fact, I'll probably do one maybe next week or the week after.
Oh my god, yes, I want to see that. I want to see you draw. All right.
Okay.
That's amazing. Oh my god. Right.
Yeah.
Back to the questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Hit me with.
I've thrown a few questions in here that are a bit of a curveball kind of thing, because we want to find out who you are. So.
Yeah.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear of
anything in life or content or whatever.
That's very interesting, because of the age that I am and how like I was raised and stuff. Like you have like, again, like if you really think about fears in a sense, a lot of like normal fears relate to death, because or like pain itself. People are afraid of the pain that will come with like being bit by a spider, or just having like a snake near them. And like then there's irrational fears like failure and stuff, and me personally, I would say like maybe subconsciously I have something that I'm afraid of, or things that freak me out. But like when it comes down to it, I try not to have anything hold me back. Like it may sound like weirdly like, but like I have come to terms that I'm going to die one day and stuff, and like that everything's gonna go and just And like that thought is sad, but like it's not a fear of mine. And like again, like a lot of the I don't know. I try not to think of what I'm afraid of and think of like how can I push past what's holding me back. Um
Okay.
like
Okay.
if you're afraid of clowns or like something that is this way, um how am I going to improve myself? I would say. I mean, there are like to be honest, there are things that I think of like because I'm single, it's like, am I going to die alone? Like that's something I could say that I'm afraid of, but like it's not something that like I linger on. Like I'm always looking to push past that. And it's like,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So like I just say push past what you're afraid of, and because there's no point in being
Okay.
afraid.
So would I be accurate in saying that you're afraid of not being able to push past your fears?
Maybe, probably. If I wasn't able, that gosh dang it. To be honest, yeah. If I wasn't able to push past my fears, then yes, that would be fearful. But I don't think I've ever had a chance like where like I wasn't able to push past because like scare. I took a
Good
horror
skill.
movie. I took a horror film class, and like if you want something that'll test you, not a single like there was only one film that kind of freaked me out, and that was because it was like more on a moral side than like
Mm-hmm.
jump scares or like being like terrifying overall. It was just like that was it. But besides that, none of the films ever got me like worked up besides like one thing that I had to watch on my own.
Okay, okay, all right. I like that because, okay, so what I can tell from what you've just said is that there isn't actually physical things that actually scare you. Essentially, you just have rational fears, not rational fears,
You
philosophical fears in ways like something
yeah.
that it would affect your mind essentially. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be honest, that would probably be like the type of fears that lean towards me. Not being able to do something is something that is more fearful than something that like is out there. Because like we drive every day, and like you could get in a car accident, and that could be the end. And but that going to stop you from driving places? No, to be honest, no.
Yeah, literally. Okay.
But
All right.
yeah, I try not to let fear overtake me. Like there are things you worry about, but like you always have to be striving to be better than what your fears are.
Okay. All right. That's a good answer. I like that. I like that.
I appreciate it. I try.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right. What hardware did you start off with in comparison to what you have now from when you started streaming?
Well, because I'm still like I haven't hit my first year's mark. I think when I originally started, I might have been on a laptop. But I don't know if that was what I was streaming on, because I wanted a new computer, and I knew a person who could help me design one and make it cheap and stuff. So I've got 3 monitors. I'm pretty much running off the exact same setup as I've always ran off of. Like I do plan on upgrading the things in my PC over time and just making them better as things get outdated. But like for the most part, everything's the same except for like the chair and the desk that I was working on. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
Not a lot of change in that aspect.
Speaking of change, what is a huge change that you've made that you've noticed has had very little impact? And then on the other side of that coin, what's a tiny change that in your opinion has had a massive impact on your content creation on Twitch?
That's a really hard question.
This is really subjective because obviously what's a massive change for me might be a tiny change for you. That's why I like asking this question, because being critical of your own stuff is really, streaming is just a constant search of satisfying your own need for perfection.
At least for the moment right now, because of like the type of audience I attract, I would say personally it would be like the biggest change is trying to play more games and different games and like keeping that up, where like instead of just playing like the same game, speedrun and like Minecraft and stuff over and over again, like that is something that I'm trying to change. But like for Breath of the Wild, it's like I'm not pulling as many people, and it's like maybe it's because of and like it just seems like a bad thing when I play games that, like, I don't know, that seems like something that is very rough to like do when you're a variety streamer. But if I had to put out like a big change, that I would say like that is something that, at least for the moment, that is like something that can be a little rough and like is being negatively impacted.
Okay.
But like,
what about a little change?
A little change that probably had a bigger impact is, I would say, it's a stream schedule, to be honest. Like it is such a little thing of just like, this is how I'm going to do things. And I'm even gonna finite that a little more in this up by Monday, by like putting out like, this is what games that I'm going to be streaming on what days. That way they like they know when to come and what day, and if they want to give other things like that.
No, like, it does make a massive difference having an actual like stream schedule, because that way people actually know when you're going to be live, and they can, like you said, they can do other things to plan for being there. And that is 100%. That's one thing that I massively helped me with my content creation, is having a schedule, so that I know, yes, on this day I'm streaming, I'm doing this, and everyone else knows that too. Yeah, so
I would definitely say that would probably be like, it's a small thing in the overarching thing, but like it ends up turning into a bigger thing because of how much it'll help you in the long run.
Okay, all right. And in your opinion, right, you must, so you've done quite a few streams since you've started streaming, but there must have been one that you just thought to yourself, that has been my favorite stream.
Well, yes, recently we had 2 streams where it was very like, there were rough points, but like they were both Jackbox streams, and they just happened very recently. And it may be because like the numbers were really well, but like it just seemed like such a fun time because I had people to talk to, and like that's the whole fun of Jackbox, having like people to talk to and like play along with and all of this. So there was a lot to it, in the sense of the way of like, and they were just so much fun, and as well as like having and like besides like Jackbox, I recently played Monopoly with Suda, Quiff, and Dango.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And like, even though I lost, it was just really fun playing with other streamers. And I think when I start playing with other streamers and just other people in general, I do tend to have a lot more of a like enjoyable time. And I think like when I have a funner time, my chat has a funner time. Like I think that's the overarching like whole aspect of that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I've just sent you a Discord message.
Uh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, there's something that is definitely going to be something that is going to benefit you in playing with other people, because you're part of One More Block Season 2, and that kicks off on the 15th, and there is so many people in Season 2 that I can't wait to work with. And for what I've got in mind of doing, I think I'm no, not that I think, I know I'm gonna need some pointers from you, because your large architectural style of building is something that I'm gonna try to adopt in a way that I've never done before. I'm fully gonna challenge myself, and I'm gonna need your help.
The hard part is I've never really built in just flat normal survival. I've always had some sort of like ability to fully fly and like all of that. So like that's what kept me back from like really shining a lot in like when I started, as well as like being that new face and stuff. But like it is it's going to be a little rough, because I've heard some of my chat say they don't want to watch me play survival, and it's like, okay. But I think if I'm able to mingle with other streamers, that there's going to be a lot more of an enjoyable time to be had.
Oh, 100%. That's the thing. Working with people is very much one way of growing as a streamer and as a person that's been online, as an online presence, which is actually a perfect segue into my next question. And this question has rules, okay? So I want to know the good names, okay? That I do want to know, and I also want to know the qualities, but I don't want to know the negative names. I just want to know their qualities that you thought you don't want to do. But the actual question is, who have you worked with or played a game with or done a collaboration with that just had that special something that just made you think, wow, like I want to be more like them, like they've got something, I really like their stuff, I want to be more like that. And then on the other hand, who have you worked with that, in your opinion, was like, I don't like their stuff. I don't like this aspect of what they're doing.
No,
I don't want to be like that.
I think we both could relate. One of my biggest things would be Dango herself. Like, I have mad respect for her, and she's got this charismatic nature to her that comes off really well, and she's able to hold an audience, and that's something, as well as like just a lot of the other blockheads like Rem the Rat, if you know her. She's really she's able to like, and like just a lot of these people who I've recently come in contact with, they're able to hold audiences, and that's something. And like, they're super nice and kind, and they've never like pushed me personally away, even as like a streamer. So it's like, that's something I really appreciate. And like there are bigger streamers that I'd love to work with, but it's like you're kind of nervous to like reach out to them. Like the person who raided me that was so big, I don't know if you're familiar with the Minecraft user Puns.
Puns,
but
I'm not, no.
He
it rings a
dropped
bell.
me. I think he's on the Dream like SMP type thing.
Oh wow.
But like he raided me, and like I'd love to do something with him. I'd love to get that opportunity, but I don't know if he'd ever like be willing to do that.
I mean, you've got nothing to lose by not.
Yeah, I mean, he's technically messaged me back, so I might message him. Also, there's like another guy. His name's like Evie Noise. He's really cool, and I want to work with him more. And just like, I'm not against anyone. And it takes a lot to irritate me. There are little things that like irritate me, And I don't think I've seen anything that's negative personally, and like I've had a bad experience with anyone over time. Um, but the thing is like I'm always willing to help other people. Like I want to like there's this up recently an up and coming streamer, and I felt like I helped her. She's always shouting me out when I come in. um where like I told her you should get like alerts for like things that like to make people feel like they're very welcome and stuff. So like I've never been like that person who's like that, like for example, like when I raid someone, I don't like to have someone who's like a follower only chat, because
Oh
like it
yeah,
defeats the whole point of like having like a big group of people. Like it's like, oh yeah, they'll all have to follow you in the end if they want to be
yeah.
part. But it's like,
That is one of
yeah,
my pet hates as well. Yeah.
I'm not gonna. So I try not to raid people with that. Like I get why it's a thing. Like it keeps those bots from like talking in your chat, and like it also like says like, hey, this is for like another, like you get to talk to me if you're followed. Not
Hmm.
anyone just gets to hop in and stuff. And I can understand why. It's just like me personally, I don't. Um, as well as like there are other things like that I won't get into, but like it's just like, how is this fair that I'm doing this, and because this other person's doing something else, that it's attracting so much like more attention and stuff. But I
I
won't
think I
go
know.
in.
I think I know what you mean by that, because it is like seeing some of the bigger streamers do quite literally the exact same content that you're putting out,
Yeah,
and in your opinion you're actually providing more by including more people, by doing more of this, and then for some reason they still have such a larger difference in viewership. And
no,
no, I can definitely relate to that myself, because I've thought about it before. Like, what makes that streamer better than me? And that is, as much as I hate thinking about it, that is what drives me to think about it in a different way. And that way is by thinking, what can I do to be better than what they're doing? To
yeah,
the
you
point
you
of where, yeah,
um uh I have I have like what I would consider a problem, and something that like is good to have in moderation is like, for me, I constantly compare myself to other or people who stream as well, and it's like if I'm not doing good enough, like catching up with them, then I'm not good enough in a sense. Even though like I will grow in a different way, there are different factors in play that
mm,
encourage this. But like the good side is you're always striving to be better. Like what can I do better? Like they're succeeding, how can I be more like them in that way? And I think that's the good part. Is the bad part is like when you're not doing that good, it's like
hard to be
you
harsh on
start
yourself.
you start hating on yourself, and you're like,
Mm,
how, like then you become like weirdly frantic, like what can I freaking do? Like
mm,
how can I, like I'm not pulling views and all of this. So like it really takes like a strong like mental head of like comparing yourself, but at the exact same time not.
yeah,
You want to be your own person, and that's important, because if there were two people who were exactly the same, then you might as well just be the same person.
yeah, no, quite
Um,
literally. And that's the thing that I'll always say to everyone, because people don't come to streaming and to streamers for the game. Like, apart from those people that specifically do, like, they're amazing at that specific game, and then people go there for the strats and they go there for the gameplay so that they can teach themselves to be better. But as a majority, people come to your stream because of you. If it was just you doing whatever you want to be doing. They'll be going there for you because they find something that they like in you and they like interacting with you. And that is the reason why, to this day, and to the day that I stopped creating content, chat and the people in chat and the people in the communities is the reason why I carry on doing this. Because they make my day as much as I hope that I make their day too.
No, I totally agree. Like my goal, because I have a full-time job. I don't need any money, as well as any money I've always said goes back into the stream, improving it. Is to make them happy, to hopefully show them a game that they may have looked past and be able to see how fun it may be, and to have a good time with me, and hopefully they'll come back for the next one. But like that would be the main thing.
Okay, all right. And in relation to your content itself, and to you being an online presence on Twitch, right now, in your opinion, what are you good at and what are you bad at? That was something that you could be improving upon right now, because that answer is going to change depending on whenever I ask you that question.
I would say there are like little things that I'm like I need to be making, and as much as people don't want this to be true, based on like what I've seen, being a heavier online presence, like on Twitter, on YouTube, I'm not as good on that aspect. I'm also not as good as at wanting to play with other people as I should. Like I need, like, because my people like it and because I personally like it, I should reach out to other people who want to play and stuff. Like do all I can. That's something I personally probably need to improve on. I would say like I would say also like just being able to constantly talk to chat, like for games that aren't very heavy participation type, having
that constant interaction with
having
chat.
Stories to tell and stuff, which I plan on, like, because like there's got to be like a natural flow to it, I've noticed with me, that, like, how to put it, there's got to be something that triggers a memory in me to make me want to talk about it. So I plan to like talking to my staff about that in order to improve, about like help me write down notes. That way, like if I'm ever at a moment to tell a story or like something that's happened to me, something that I'm personally probably really good at is just interacting with the chat. Like I think just having a fun time and like just being I'm overly like a really positive person. Like even when I have a straight face, I have a default smile. Like you'll see the smile lines on my face. So it's like I'm just overly positive, and it's really hard to get me in a bad mood.
I like that.
Like
I like
that.
That's
Probably
that's nice quality. So what I take away from that is networking and bullet points of stories to
because like I've watched streamers that like they'll sit there and they'll talk to chat and they're still like really small, but they're not like talking to chat like all the time. They're really just focused in on the game. Also, something that I've realized I've improved on is the fact that when I start a game that I'm unfamiliar with, I've noticed that if I just spend a little extra more time practicing, even off stream, because they want to see you get better, I've noticed,
Mm-hmm.
and like improve, and like doing a little bit offline isn't a bad idea in that ideas, because like with Breath of the Wild, I was Sekiro is such a hard game. Again, I hardwired my brain to be like for those controls that every other game was harder because of the hardwired controls of that game. It was just
Oh, I
if
see what
if you
mean.
ever
But
get a chance, go play it. It will definitely change your aspect on like gaming in general because it's that hard, and I've never had to learn like rhythm as much and like patterns as much in that game. So it's really a good game no matter how hard it is.
okay, all right. Well, I haven't actually played a game that has been what I would class as being hard, and
Oh, you want a game that's hard. That game is
I, I,
almost
f-
to the point where it'll give you nightmares.
I feel
Almost.
like from what I've seen you play, it's the type of game that you can look at it and go, it can't be that hard. But then the second you press play and you start playing it yourself, you're like, oh god damn.
Yeah, because they'll get on your case in the sense for like every little mistake, which is
Yeah.
just if you ever get a chance, I think it's on sale. Like if you ever want a game that'll give you a challenge, go give that a challenge because
Okay.
it's a different.
I'm good.
But
I'll do it. I'll do it.
it's just weird because that game has really changed me as a person.
I like
Because
how
like
it's so traumatic that it's changed the
Yes.
way you look at other games.
yes, because like I was playing Skyrim on a controller, and I was doing things in Sekiro, and I'm like, this isn't Sekiro, and I was like, I can't. This game ruined. No.
Oh my god.
And then
that's
like
brilliant.
it's still transferred over to like how the controls were in like a simple Switch game like Breath of the Wild, and I'm like, this is too complicated. Where like Sekiro is like literally like it's got simple controls, but it still has like hard controls to get. It's just like it's crazy. It's crazy how much one game can like really like. And like when I first started to play it, my fans were like against it, but then after not playing it for a while and then like bringing it back, they were like, yeah, it's good, it's fine, and, like they enjoyed it a lot more in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll give it a go.
Yeah,
And if you get a message from me,
nightmares for the
if you get a message from me saying, you know, F you,
what
you
have
know
you
what?
done to me? No, I get you.
Okay, alright. But there's one thing that I've certainly noticed is that streaming has influenced me. Outside of on my online presence, I approach conversations slightly differently. Where I'm talking all the time whilst I'm on stream, it's really strange because I'm on the other end of that, because now I find myself taking more time to listen to people say stuff in real life, so that I can respond in a way that I'd like to respond. Whereas it's weird. I think it's because it's a difference between reading it in chat and reading it and hearing it being said to you. But that's one thing that I've definitely noticed that streaming has influenced me with, and it's also helped my confidence with speaking with other people as well. But has streaming influenced you outside of your online presence?
I think it's because yes and no. I think because of the type of background I have, not as much, as well as like because I don't interact with a lot of people on my daily basis.
Right.
That's one thing I personally want to change, but like a lot of the interaction that I do have with other people come from like online stuff, so like talking in my Discord. So a lot of it, like I've noticed like when talking to myself, I'll say certain words, but like um but it's like I tend to talk about my streaming career a little more like with my coworkers because it's
Hmm.
something that's going on in my life. But like I don't personally. Oh yeah, actually, now thinking of it, my boss wants me to start streaming me editing wedding videos, and I'm
That'll
like,
be
yeah,
the long stream.
that sounds fun, and like, but like at the exact same time, it's a whole different kind of content to make
Yeah,
because
no,
it's
it
like
is.
because like you'd have to like you'd I'd have to I'd have to hold my tongue on like if they gave me bad footage ever because I love to crap talk the camera guys that we have. Oh,
Oh
eh,
god.
because
Oh yeah,
they're
no, it's true
some
with
of them
boxing
are
as well.
absolutely trash. Yeah, there's also the fear of that, but like I have ways of combating that that I might take up. But
Okay.
yeah,
Alright.
that because my boss has heard like things that I've told him about like people I know, and like he's like, yeah, you want to start doing this, and I'm like, I mean, sure.
If you want to sponsor me, like yeah, sure. Like.
I mean, he's willing to like put everything up. I mean,
Oh,
it's pretty much the same as this, but like, um, yeah, I totally, that is one thing that I've noticed that has changed because I've started taking up streaming. That my boss is more interested in what I'm doing now because he knows what can come out of
clearly,
it, I guess.
clearly, you're doing something right then, because I find myself talking about my streaming career, and like literally all the time. Like I'm so proud of where I've got to, and I'm so happy with the amount of people that I've got to know along the way. Like to the point of where I'll be telling my mum, I'll be like, "Oh my god, mum, I've got an interview with this person. Like I can't, it's amazing." And then she's like, "What? What do you mean?" Like that's the thing. Like it's great, honestly. The fact that you're speaking about your career in Twitch
No,
outside,
no,
because
and like,
it shows that you enjoy it and that you're proud of it, and
yeah,
I'm really happy about that.
I mean, like again, there is always the chance of like I could have always done so much better, but then
Mm,
the other hand, I could have gone unnoticed this whole year. So like to be happy and like be proud of myself that I did this, but you also can't let that stop you from like striving to be better than you are. I think you always need to keep that in the back of your mind to strive past what you are, to put out the best content no matter what, no matter how big you get. Like
mm.
it's not just another day streaming, it's another day to improve who
Improve.
you are. Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Every single time you press that start button, it's got to be better than your last one. That's the way you should be looking at it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
like,
it's hard to do that every day, but it's like
right.
you always have to have that mindset. It literally comes down to it.
And what kind of content do you actually do now? Like, if I was to go to your channel, what would I expect from the Hero 9000?
For YouTube or Twitch?
Both.
Because
Why not?
YouTube's still a little bit dead. I think maybe more Minecraft skits right now if I
Okay.
were in like stream clips. Um
What about
on
Twitch then?
on Twitch right now I've been trying to get a speed run time down, but and I
Ooh.
think I just need to practice some things in like different ways. But then there are other things that but like I do a lot of speed running. I do Jackbox every Sunday, which a lot of community stuff. Um like like I said, Breath of the Wild is something that
Mm-hmm.
we've been doing. And I just try to interact with my community the most I can, and like and just like have a fun time and like talk about like what, and like again, having someone to prompt you with questions is so like I think it's really important to have someone personally to physically to talk to, because it seems like yes, there's an audience, but like for me, sometimes
Interaction's a lot easier with a voice.
if no one's actually talking, it really feels like you're alone. Like, and that would probably be like my one negative part about like the Twitch like setup, that you have to, so having someone in your Discord or like just to talk to, just to make it feel like you have someone. But that would be my biggest thing. Like I need but like that's the type of content I have like a lot of different games, a lot of heavy
community driven.
I want to do things with other streamers, and I plan on doing it. Nothing's gonna stop me, because I know that they like to watch me play with other people, and I think it also comes back to like watching me suffer. They want people to pick on me. So
God damn it, chat. Why you gotta be so bad?
Yeah, so I think that's slightly the reason they want that to be like to be bullied and stuff. So I mean, I can't give it. I set it up for myself to be that way, so it's whatever.
Oh God.
They want to see me drink. They want to.
See, now they pop up, they hear pain, and they're like, "Ooh, yes."
Yeah, that is very true. They're like hearing the pain.
Oh God. But what type of games that you play on stream in comparison to off stream? Because there is a difference, or is there a difference? Because playing it on stream, you have to also keep an eye out on chat, but there's certain games that you can't do that with. Or are you superhuman?
There are certain games that you can't play even on Twitch, and like I dabble in some of those, because there are some really enjoyable games in that out thing, which is really weird, because like if you look at Cyberpunk and like what you're able to do with your character, you're like, wouldn't that be against terms of service, because you're seeing everything?
There is blur out options on that, actually.
Oh yeah, but you usually I do play a lot of the games that I play off stream on stream, because it's like I don't have anything else to do, I guess. It's like because, and I'm surprised we haven't gone into the huge anime wall, but anime plays a big part of my life, so I watch anime a lot more than I probably play games off stream.
And what are you watching right now?
I'm rewatching Fire Force, which is one of my raid mode. Yeah, it's a really good show. If you've ever raided me, that thing that comes up when you raid is from Fire Force, and I love it. It's a good show. It's on its season 2. I hope we get to season 3, depending on where it ends. But it's really good. Anything on my wall, I have like 30 different shirts. So any shirt, all good shows in my opinion.
Okay.
But yeah.
And hands down, if you had to pick one anime that in your opinion is like the best, what would it be?
See, there are things that go in. If I'm going with like things that no one's ever heard of, because I'm a big romantic, it's kind of the reason why I got into the wedding business too, because it's romance. A small, very unknown thing is called like Myself Yourself.
Right.
And it's really great. There's like drama heavy, it's slice of life, romance, and it's funny, but it like finishes off that story, and like it feels slow paced at the very start, but it's supposed to feel that way to connect you with these characters in the sense.
No, you got to build up that plot line. You got to
Yeah,
have
and,
people
and
that
like and
yeah.
like I've had people who I've told it's like it's slow paced and it's like trust me, in like
Just
the
stick
second
through
half
it, yeah.
it will blow. Everything that builds up gets paid off. Everything that builds up at the beginning gets paid off in the end, and you will just like, and it blew me away the first time I saw it. But like, if I had to say something,
has an anime actually made you cry?
Actually, they're not fully cry, but
get teary.
But I think if I had watched it in like the clip, because I was watching this, I was watching Violet Evergarden. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I have something else to do right now, but because we started late, I'm giving you a little extra time. But it's all good.
I'll try and do it quick. It's fun.
No, it's all good. I don't think it'll matter that much if I'm a little bit late to something because we started late. Violet Evergarden, freaking, first off, the animation style is absolutely beautiful and stuff. You should, like, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's beautiful, high quality animation. The story's kind of so at points because I've heard complaints about that. I personally haven't had a personal issue with that. I've heard it from other people, but there is like episode 8 and 8 through 10 that are so. There is a scene where the main character is running across a pond in a sense, or like jumps,
right?
And the animation along with the music, the dialogue comes together, blending perfectly to everything of why I personally love animation. Because there are things you cannot do in real world things without like doing CG and stuff. And like you can have that heavy voiceover and it feel very natural and stuff. So there's just a lot to do and stuff.
Okay. All right. All
But
right.
I was literally in like what you would consider a pub, watching this thing on my phone, and I was having trouble sitting still because of like the emotional drivenness of this story, and I was almost in tears because of this.
I have fully cried. Okay, I have fully, like, the type of crying where like it's an ugly cry. You got to take like
what anime got you to cry?
It was Code Geass.
Really?
Yeah, it was Code Geass when oh god damn it, they killed one of the characters in a
it was probably
fight
the
scene in the
pink-haired
movie.
girl.
Yeah,
Maybe.
And I just did not expect it, and then it literally like. I'm getting a bit teary now because it hurt. Okay, I was heavily invested in this.
I think with certain animes like that, like because of Code Geass is his like appeal, I personally was never able to get like that emotionally connected with them.
Okay.
Even though it's a great show, it's just there was just so much like. When you think of an action show, you don't think of it as like something that could be like pulling at your heartstring. And it may be because I watched it when I was younger and stuff. That maybe I'd have a different outlook. Because there was a show recently where its second season had such an emotional impact. Have you seen or heard of Mob Psycho 100?
No, but Jonesy has actually mentioned that to me. He's currently in chat.
That is a show. Its second season starts off with such a like something you wouldn't expect, and they make it abruptly obvious like, hey, this isn't going to be. I have a shirt of it too, but it's not going to be like what you got from last season.
Okay,
with high action and stuff. So it hits. And like I love when showing people those moments when it just smacks.
It
Because
just
I've gotten
boom,
girls
there's a
in
whole
my
lot of feels.
Discord to cry from like this clip in a movie that I showed them without like any other context. They got emotional, and I was like, yes, because that's how I felt, and like having people to relate to that. And but like,
See, secretly you were just trying to make
yeah,
your chat suffer too. You're like, haha, it's
yeah.
your
Well,
turn
I
now.
mean, to be honest, I would love to watch some of these clips over like stream if I could. And to be honest, I might one day just be like, "Yo, guys, I want to show you some clips of anime that just clap hard."
I
But
mean, you can
then
always do
again,
a Discord stream. That's the
yeah,
thing.
I mean, I could. But like people, because I watch a lot of anime dubbed versus sub because I just
Yeah, I
personally
prefer them
prefer it.
dubbed. Yeah.
People will get on my case and I will fight to the bitter end. If people are like dubs suck, trust me, you don't want to tell me that
No,
because you
I
will be
prefer
like,
dubbed
"Oh,
anyway.
you want to fight? You want to fight? I will totally."
Just there's Hero in the corner. Oh my
Yeah,
moo.
because there are things that they don't understand in the sense of dubbing versus subbing, and they're so sub. You can't get me started. Don't get me started. I will rant.
I agree with you. Don't worry, I
Yeah,
agree with
yeah.
you.
Oh,
Oh god! But just quickly, we're gonna go have
yeah.
a quick little 5 minute break, and then we'll get back into it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions left.
Okay.
Awesome. Right. See you guys in 5.
Alright.
Hello, people. We are
Hello.
back. We are back. We are back. And just off stream, whilst we were having a break, we had a little chat. And there is going to be a part 2 to this interview. So have no worries, ladies and gentlemen. My questions will be answered, and you will get to find out more about the hero. But I've been asking you a load of questions, and I feel like it's only fair that I give you the opportunity to answer some of your questions about me. Something that, I don't know, maybe you got curious about or you want to know about.
I'm curious about what you do for work, to be honest. That causes you to
Really?
wake up at 5. Yeah. What?
I work for a company that essentially turns a house into a home. And the way that they do that...
you're like one of those people of like, we buy ugly houses almost.
No, not quite. So let's just say that you own a property. You would go to this company that I work for and you say, right, I want everything in it, make it into a livable space. And then what we would do is we don't touch the walls or the ceilings, right? We deal with the flooring side of things, whether that be carpet, wet rooms, laminate, all sorts of things. Then we also deal with all the furniture, so that'd be beds, mattresses, sofas, dining tables, everything. All the white goods that go in the kitchens, so that'll be like...
almost like one of those reality TV shows, like fix up the houses and stuff. Almost.
Kind of, essentially, yeah. But it's also like you can also order, like, I don't know, a cutlery set, a TV, a fridge, your carpet, flooring, you, like all sorts of things. I'm a fully qualified flooring fitter myself, but it's a case of having to go to a warehouse, load up, go and do the deliveries and all the installations and all of those things, and then having to go back. And because we deal with the whole of the UK, we could be working like 6 hours away of a drive. And that's why, essentially, that, and obviously my work is an hour's drive away, which is fun times.
That makes sense of like why you have to get up so early. Mine's like literally like 10 minutes.
Don't, you're just making me jealous now.
Anyway, there was, I thought I had another question, but that was like the biggest thing. I'm like, what is probably your next goal, in the sense of like, what do you want to achieve from streaming overall? Like, what would you say your like next goal, and like what would be your end goal in a sense?
But I don't know what my end goal is, because I could never think about the end part of where this is thing. I don't want
but
this
if you had to put
next big milestone,
like,
I think the next big milestone for me, to me, I think getting to 100 episodes of Infectious Thoughts on YouTube would be my next big milestone.
And having like a huge variety of people. That would be pretty cool.
Having a whole load of people. But one thing that I really want to get done, because I have 2 channels on YouTube, I have the 8th one and the 8th one archive, and currently all of these, because they're long form content, I put all of them, the whole thing, on the 8th one archive. And what I need is an editor. I need an editor to sit down and short form those interviews and take the highlights and funny bits and things like that.
Yes,
I want
that is. Twitch actually has like a very like rough editing software where you can kind of do that. For the highlights itself. It's a little tricky at first, but it's pretty simple. And if you want some time, I could show you how it works. But it's 100%. Not too hard to pick up. But yeah, okay, cool. I'll have to look at your 100th one when that time happens.
Yeah, Jonesy was saying, he's currently in chat. He was saying that my 100th one has to be like one of the 1% of of Twitch.
Yeah, if you could do that, that would be a huge milestone.
I'd love to do that. Like, I've already emailed a load of big streamers. I haven't heard back from any one of them, but don't hurt in asking.
No, I get that. I get that. But yeah, I mean, I had tons of fun with this, and I hope to have even more, like, and finish up on all your questions. But I think for the most part, and I'll probably think of another question for you next time. But at the moment, I'm more concerned with how much anger is going to come up from the people who are waiting on me. But this was tons of fun.
Honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Honestly.
No problem.
You have satisfying my curiosity into who the hero is.
Yes.
It's been nice. So there will be a definite follow-up to this. If you're watching this and you've come in late, have no worries, ladies and gentlemen. Have no worries, because this is being recorded and it will be on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, also have no worries, because my links and Hero's links are going to be down below. So go give him a massive follow. Go ask him some weird questions.
Yes, go ahead. I'm what you would probably say an open book when it comes down to it.
Okay, all right, I like that.
I always appreciate when people come in.
What I'll do is now we'll end this recording, and then afterwards we will raid a person of your choice. So, without further ado, from myself and from Hero, peace out for now, and we'll catch you on the next episode or the next stream. Bye.
Bye.